Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Time is the most valuable thing in life. Money can be earned again. Opportunities can come again. But time, once gone, never comes back. Many people say they want success, but they waste hours every day on unimportant things. They delay their work, follow distractions, and then wonder why they are not making progress. The truth is simple. If you do not manage your time will manage you. In this video, we will learn powerful lessons on how to manage your time well and take control of your life. Lesson 1. Know where your time is going. The first and most important step in managing your time is awareness. You cannot control something if you do not understand it. Many people feel that they are very busy all day, but at the end of the day, they realize that they have not completed anything important. They wonder, where did my time go? The truth is, time is not lost suddenly. It is lost in small moments. A few minutes on social media, a little extra time watching videos, a short break that becomes a long distraction. These small moments may not feel important, but when they are repeated every day, they turn into hours of wasted time. The problem is not always lack of time. The problem is lack of awareness. Most people do not track how they spend their time. They live on automatic mode. They wake up, react to things, follow distractions, and let the day pass without control. But when you become aware of your time, everything begins to change. Awareness is like turning on a light. When you clearly see how your time is being used, you can identify what is helping you and what is wasting your time. One simple way to build awareness is to observe your day. Ask yourself questions like, what did I do in the last hour? Was it useful or not? Did it help me move forward? This small reflection creates clarity. Another powerful method is tracking your time. For 1 or 2 days, write down what you do every hour. Be honest. Do not try to look perfect. Just observe. You may be surprised by the results. You may notice that a large part of your day is spent on unimportant activities. This realization is very powerful. Because once you see the truth, you can change it. Another important truth is that not all activities are equal. Some activities create value. Others only consume time. For example, learning a skill, working on your goals, or improving yourself adds value to your life. But scrolling without purpose, watching unnecessary content, or delaying work takes value away. When you know where your time is going, you can start making better choices. You can reduce time spent on low-value activities and increase time spent on meaningful work. Awareness also helps you understand your habits. You may notice patterns. For example, you may realize that you waste more time in the evening, or you get distracted easily when you start working. These patterns show you where you need to improve. Another powerful benefit of awareness is control. When you are aware, you are not acting automatically. You are making conscious decisions. You are choosing how to spend your time. This is the beginning of discipline. Another important point is that awareness should not create guilt. The goal is not to blame yourself. The goal is to understand your behavior. Once you understand it, you can improve it. The truth is simple. You do not need more time. You need better awareness of your time. When you know where your time is going, you can take control. You can remove what is unnecessary. You can focus on what matters. And once you control your time, you begin to control your life. That is the first and most powerful step to managing your time well. Lesson 2. Focus on what truly matters. The second powerful step in managing your time is learning to focus on what truly matters. Not everything you do in a day has the same value. Some activities move your life forward, while others only give temporary comfort. Many people stay busy all day, but they are not productive. They complete many small tasks, respond to messages, watch content, or do things that feel easy. At the end of the day, they feel tired, but they have not made real progress. This happens because they focus on what is easy, not what is important. Time management is not about doing more things. It is about doing the right things. To manage your time well, you must learn to identify what truly matters in your life. Ask yourself simple but powerful questions. What are my goals? What tasks will move me closer to those goals? What activities are just distractions? These questions bring clarity. Once you have clarity, you can begin to prioritize. Prioritizing means giving your time and energy to the most important tasks first. For example, if your goal is to improve your English, then practicing speaking, learning vocabulary, and writing daily are important tasks. But scrolling on your phone or watching random videos does not help your goal. When you choose important tasks over easy distractions, your time becomes valuable. Another important truth is that important tasks are often difficult. They require effort, focus, and discipline. This is why many people avoid them. Instead, they choose easy activities that give quick satisfaction. But these activities do not create long-term progress. Successful people understand this difference. They focus on what is important, even when it feels difficult. They do not allow comfort to control their choices. Another powerful method is to start your day with important work. Your energy is highest at the beginning of the day. If you use that time for meaningful tasks, you create real progress. But if you waste that time on distractions, your day becomes less productive. This is why many successful people work on their most important tasks first. Another helpful technique is to limit low-value activities. You do not need to remove everything completely, but you must control how much time you give to them. For example, you can decide a fixed time for entertainment instead of letting it take over your day. This balance keeps your mind fresh without harming your productivity. Another important point is to avoid multitasking. Many people try to do multiple things at the same time, but this reduces focus and quality. When you focus on one important task at a time, you work faster and better. Deep focus creates better results. Another powerful benefit of focusing on what matters is satisfaction. When you complete meaningful tasks, you feel proud of your day. You feel that your time was used well. This builds confidence and motivation. But when you spend your day on unimportant activities, you often feel regret. You feel that your time was wasted. This is why focusing on the right things is so important. The truth is simple. You do not have unlimited time. Every day is limited. If you spend it on unimportant things, you lose the opportunity to grow. But when you focus on what truly matters, your time becomes powerful. You make progress. You move closer to your goals, and you begin to create a meaningful life. That is how focusing on the right things transforms your time into success. Lesson 3. Plan your day in advance. The third powerful step in managing your time well is planning your day in advance. Many people waste time not because they are lazy, but because they are confused. They wake up without a clear direction. They keep thinking, "What should I do next?" And this small confusion leads to delay. Delay leads to distraction. And distraction leads to wasted time. Planning removes this confusion. When you plan your day, you give direction to your actions. You already know what needs to be done. You do not waste time deciding. You simply start working. This is the power of planning. For example, imagine waking up with a clear list of tasks. You know your priorities. You know what is important. You know what must be completed. Your mind feels clear. You do not feel lost. You feel focused. On the other hand, imagine waking up without a plan. You check your phone. You respond to messages. You think about work, but do not start. Time passes, and you still feel unorganized. This is how an unplanned day becomes unproductive. Planning gives structure to your day. It organizes your time. It helps you move from one task to another without confusion. Another important truth is that planning reduces procrastination. When a task is not clearly defined, your mind sees it as difficult. This creates resistance. But when you break your work into small, clear tasks, it becomes easier to start. For example, instead of thinking, "I need to study," you can plan, "I will study for 30 minutes. I will complete this topic." This clarity reduces hesitation. It becomes easier to begin. Another powerful method is planning your day the night before. Before going to sleep, take a few minutes to write down your tasks for the next day. This prepares your mind. When you wake up, you already know what to do. You save time and energy. Another important point is to keep your plan simple. Do not overload your day with too many tasks. If your plan is too heavy, you may feel stressed and lose focus. Choose a few important tasks and complete them properly. Quality is more important than quantity. Another helpful technique is prioritizing tasks. Not all tasks are equally important. Some tasks have more impact. Plan to complete those tasks first. This ensures that even if your day becomes busy, the most important work is already done. Another advantage of planning is that it creates discipline. When you follow a plan, you train your mind to stay organized. You become more focused. You waste less time. Over time, this becomes a habit. Another powerful benefit is that planning reduces stress. When your tasks are written and organized, your mind feels lighter. You are not constantly thinking about what to do. You already have clarity. This creates peace of mind. Another important truth is that plans do not need to be perfect. Sometimes things may not go exactly as planned. That is normal. You can adjust your plan. The goal is not perfection. The goal is direction. The truth is simple. If you do not plan your day will control you. But when you plan your day, you control your time. You become organized, focused, and productive. And when your days are planned, your life becomes more structured and meaningful. That is how planning turns your time into progress. Lesson 4. Avoid distractions. Another powerful step in managing your time well is learning to avoid distractions. Distractions are one of the biggest reasons people lose time without realizing it. A few seconds of distraction can break your focus. A few minutes can turn into hours. And before you know it, your important work is delayed. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Your phone, social media, notifications, messages, and even random thoughts can pull your attention away from your work. The problem is not just distraction. The problem is how easily we follow it. For example, imagine you are working on something important. Suddenly your phone gives a notification. You decide to check it just for a moment. That moment becomes 10 minutes. Then you open another app, then another video, and suddenly a lot of time is gone. This is how distraction steals your time. It does not happen suddenly. It happens slowly in small moments. Another important truth is that distraction breaks deep focus. Deep focus is when your mind is fully engaged in one task. This is when you do your best work. But every time you get distracted, your focus breaks. It takes time to return to that level of concentration. This reduces your productivity. You may spend more time, but your work quality becomes lower. People who manage their time well protect their focus. They understand that focus is valuable, and they do not allow distractions to control their attention. One simple way to reduce distractions is to control your environment. For example, keep your phone away while working. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Work in a quiet place. These small changes make a big difference. Another powerful method is setting specific work time. Decide that for the next 30 minutes or 1 hour, you will focus only on your task. During this time, do not check your phone. Do not switch tasks. Stay committed. This builds discipline. After that, you can take a short break. This balance keeps your mind fresh. Another important technique is identifying your biggest distractions. Everyone has different habits. Some people get distracted by social media, some by messages, some by overthinking. Observe yourself. Notice what pulls your attention away. Once you identify it, you can control it. Another powerful truth is that distractions are often more attractive than important work. Important tasks require effort. They may feel difficult, but distractions feel easy and enjoyable. This is why the mind is naturally attracted to them. But you must train your mind to choose what is important over what is easy. This is where discipline plays a role. Another advantage of avoiding distractions is increased productivity. When you work without interruptions, you complete tasks faster. You use less time and get better results. This creates more free time for rest or other activities. Another benefit is mental clarity. When your mind is not constantly switching between tasks, it becomes calmer. You feel more focused and less stressed. Another important point is that you do not need to remove all distractions completely. You just need to control them. For example, you can decide a fixed time for entertainment. This way, you enjoy it without letting it affect your work. The truth is simple. Distractions are everywhere, but control is in your hands. If you follow every distraction, you lose your time. But if you control your attention, you gain your time. When you protect your focus, your productivity increases, your work improves, and your time becomes valuable. That is how avoiding distractions helps you manage your time and take control of your life. Lesson 5. Use small time blocks wisely. Another powerful step in managing your time well is learning to use small time blocks wisely. Many people believe that they need long, uninterrupted hours to do meaningful work. Because of this belief, they often wait for the perfect time to start. But the truth is simple. Perfect time rarely comes. And while you are waiting, you are losing valuable moments. Time is not only in big hours, time is also in small pieces. And those small pieces, when used wisely, can create powerful results. For example, think about the small gaps in your day. 10 minutes before starting work, 15 minutes after lunch, 20 minutes in the evening. Most people waste these small time blocks without noticing. They check their phone, scroll aimlessly, or do nothing important. But if you use these small moments properly, they can become very productive. For example, in 10 to 15 minutes, you can learn a few new words, read a few pages of a book, practice speaking English, review your notes. These small actions may seem insignificant, but when you repeat them daily, they create big improvement. Another important truth is that small actions are easier to start. Many people delay work because tasks feel too big. They think, I need a lot of time to do this, so they keep postponing it. But when you break your work into small parts, it becomes easier. For example, instead of thinking, I will study for 2 hours, you can start with, I will study for 15 minutes. This removes pressure. It becomes easy to begin, and once you start, you often continue longer than planned. This is the power of small time blocks. They help you overcome resistance. Another powerful benefit is consistency. Even if you cannot work for long hours every day, you can always find small time blocks. When you use them daily, your progress becomes steady. Consistency is more important than long hours. Small efforts repeated every day create strong results over time. Another advantage of small time blocks is focus. When you know you have limited time, you focus better. You avoid distractions. You use your time more carefully. This increases productivity. Another important point is that small time blocks reduce stress. Large tasks can feel overwhelming, but when you break them into smaller parts, they become manageable. You feel less pressure, and you make progress step by step. Another powerful method is combining small time blocks with clear goals. For example, in the next 10 minutes, I will learn 5 new words. In the next 15 minutes, I will complete this task. This clarity improves efficiency. You know exactly what to do. Another important truth is that wasted small time becomes big loss. If you waste 15 minutes every day, it becomes hours in a week and days in a month. But if you use those 15 minutes wisely, it becomes progress. This is how small habits shape your future. Another advantage is flexibility. Even on busy days, you can still use small time blocks. You do not need a perfect schedule. You just need awareness and a willingness to use your time wisely. The truth is simple. You do not need more time. You need to use your time better. Small time blocks are powerful. When you use them consistently, they create big change. They help you stay productive, reduce delay, and build discipline. And over time, these small efforts turn into meaningful progress. That is how using small time blocks wisely helps you manage your time and move closer to your goals every day. Lesson 6. Learn to say no. Another powerful step in managing your time well is learning to say no. Many people lose their time not because they are lazy, but because they are unable to refuse things that do not matter. They say yes to every request, yes to unnecessary work, yes to distractions, yes to things that do not help their goals. And because of this, they have no time left for what truly matters. The truth is simple. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something important. Your time is limited. You cannot do everything. If you try to please everyone or do everything, you will lose focus and energy. This is why saying no is not a weakness. It is a strength. It shows that you understand your priorities. It shows that you respect your time. For example, imagine you have an important task to complete, but someone asks you to do something that is not urgent or not related to your goals. If you say yes, your important work gets delayed. But if you say no, you protect your time. This allows you to stay focused. Another important truth is that people often say yes because they fear disappointing others. They do not want to look rude. They want to be liked. But constantly saying yes to others can damage your own progress. You must understand that your time is valuable. Respecting your time is not selfish. It is necessary for growth. Another powerful point is that saying no does not mean being rude. You can say no politely. For example, I am busy right now. I will do it later. I cannot do this today. This way, you protect your time without hurting others. Another advantage of saying no is that it reduces stress. When you take too many responsibilities, your mind becomes overloaded. You feel pressure. You feel tired. And your work quality decreases. But when you limit your commitments, your mind becomes calmer. You focus better. You perform better. Another important benefit is better productivity. When you say no to low-value activities, you create more time for high-value work. You can focus on your goals. You can complete important tasks. This improves your progress. Another powerful truth is that successful people are very careful with their time. They do not say yes to everything. They choose what is important. They protect their time. This is one of the reasons they are able to achieve more. Another important point is that saying no also applies to your own habits. Sometimes the biggest distractions come from yourself. Your mind may tell you to rest, delay, or follow easy activities. In those moments, you must say no to yourself. You must choose discipline over comfort. This builds strong self-control. Another advantage of saying no is clarity. When you remove unnecessary tasks, your schedule becomes clear. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to your goals. And when you protect your time, you create space for growth, progress, and success. That is how learning to say no helps you manage your time and take control of your life. Lesson 7. Be consistent every day. The final and most powerful step in managing your time well is this. Be consistent every day. Many people try to manage their time for a few days. They feel motivated, they follow a plan, and they work hard. But after some time, they stop. They return to old habits. And because of this, they do not see real results. The problem is not effort. The problem is inconsistency. Time management is not about one perfect day. It is about showing up every day. It is about using your time wisely again and again. Consistency is what turns small actions into big results. For example, if you use your time properly for one day, it will not change your life. But if you use your time properly every day, your life will slowly transform. This is the power of consistency. Another important truth is that consistency is more important than intensity. Many people try to do too much in one day. They work for long hours, push themselves too hard, and then feel tired. Because of this, they cannot continue the next day. But consistent effort is different. It is steady. It is manageable. It is something you can repeat every day. For example, working for 1 hour daily is better than working for 5 hours once and then stopping. Small daily effort creates stable progress. Another powerful benefit of consistency is habit formation. When you repeat the same actions every day, they become habits. And once something becomes a habit, it becomes easier. You do not need to think too much. You do it automatically. This reduces effort and increases discipline. Another important point is that consistency builds trust in yourself. When you follow your routine daily, your mind begins to trust you. You see yourself as someone who follows through. This builds confidence. You no longer depend on motivation. You depend on your habit. Another advantage of consistency is progress. Even small improvements every day can create big results over time. For example, improving 1% every day may seem small, but over weeks and months, it becomes powerful. This is how success is built, not in one big moment, but in daily actions. Another powerful truth is that consistency helps you stay focused. When you have a daily routine, you know what to do. You do not waste time deciding. You simply follow your plan. This reduces distractions and increases productivity. Another important point is that consistency requires patience. You may not see results immediately. Some days may feel slow. Some days may feel difficult. But you must continue. Progress takes time. If you stay consistent, results will come. Another advantage is that consistency creates discipline. It trains your mind to act regularly. It builds control over your actions. And over time, discipline becomes part of your identity. Another powerful realization is that missing one day is not the problem, but stopping completely is. If you miss a day, start again. Do not give up. Consistency is about continuing, not being perfect. The truth is simple. You do not succeed by what you do sometimes. You succeed by what you do every day. Time management becomes powerful only when it becomes a daily habit. When you use your time wisely every day, your progress becomes unstoppable. And over time, your disciplined use of time becomes your identity. That is how consistency turns your time into success. If you enjoyed this video and found these lessons helpful, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful content. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.